Now on Coast TV News.
Brick by brick fundraising for the new Dewey Beach Town Hall. Rules at the ready. Lewes re-examines beach regulations, some that have stood for decades. And statewide speed cameras in Maryland, faster speeds are soon going to mean bigger fines.
And tomorrow we're expecting to be overcast yet again across Delmarva. More on when the sun will make a comeback coming up.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
Construction underway as Dewey transforms its town hall and police station. Good evening. I'm Charlie Sakaitis. We begin tonight with Dewey Beach, trying to raise a little bit of money. The construction you see on your screen, it started back in May. Dewey Beach making progress on their new 3-story town hall building and police station. But that doesn't come cheap. The project cost more than $11 million. Coast TV News reporter Brandon Ferguson is live in Dewey Beach. Brandon, to pay for this project, it's taken both state and federal money, but the town is now looking to raise additional cash.
Charlie, follow me on the back end of this construction project. You can see it, you can hear it. This is all for the new 3-story Dewey Beach Town Hall. And take a look at this concrete wall behind me. It may look like your run-of-the-mill concrete wall for now, but Dewey Beach Town Manager Bill Zalper says it will soon be filled with bricks that you can engrave. This all to raise money for the project, and the funding from these bricks will go towards landscaping around the town hall and furniture within the building. If you want to be on the wall, you can buy an engraved brick for about $300. Overall, the town is trying to sell 2,000 bricks, and if they hit that goal, they should raise about $600,000.
Police dispatch area is going to have a huge work area in the dispatch area for the police officers. We want to make sure all that gets funded. The least amount of money we have to borrow, the better.
Zolper tells us later this week on the Dewey Beach Town website, the request form to buy a brick for this wall on the side of the town hall will be available. Live in Dewey Beach, Brandon Ferguson, Coast TV News.
Viewers may remember when construction on Town Hall started a few months back in May. Dewey says the facility will house the Town Hall, Police Department, and EMS quarters. Dewey says it will provide administrative offices, a dispatch center, holding cells and evidence room, a courtroom, EMS bunk rooms, and more. The town says they expect the roof of the building to be on by Thanksgiving. A beach day often looks a little different in each bay or each beach along the coast. Now that is depending on their specific rules. Coast TV News reporter Emma Aiken is live in Lewes. Emma, the city looking at making changes to a long list of standing beach rules.
Charlie, right now we're pretty much the only people here on the beach, but just a few weeks ago that scene was very different at the beaches up and down the coast. They were packed, and with a lot of people comes a lot of rules, which is why here the city of Lewes is taking a second look at their code, and because some of these rules were adopted back in the 1970s. At an ordinance review ad hoc committee meeting Tuesday morning, Lewes will debate Chapter 63 of their city code, which focuses on beaches. There's a lot in there, including the rule against sleeping on the beach overnight and the ban prohibiting driving on the beach, but it's not clear which of the different rules in Chapter 63 will get the most attention. And the committee will hear from Parks and Recreation, who are expected to have a few of their own proposals.
It is important to periodically go back and see if, the intent of what an original rule was for is still appropriate, or if something needs to be added, changed, deleted. It's important to revisit things.
While some of these rules are all year round, a lot of them only apply during the busy season, May through September. Those seasonal rules, some of those include no boating, no kayaking, no fishing, and no canopies. Reporting live here in Lewes, Emma Aiken, Coast TV News.
This brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, are there too many beach rules? Let's take a look at the results so far, and this is what we've got. 20% says yes, way too many. 29% saying no, just right. 51% saying not enforced well, and 0% saying, hey, we need more rules. You can go vote right now on coasttv.com or use our mobile app. You can also leave us a comment. And we're taking a live look into Lewes right now. Let's check in with our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams, on our First Alert weather. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening to you, Charlie. And listen, it's been cloudy all day, and we talked about that yesterday, and we're going to have yet another one of these very cloudy days. And it's just been a real not so pleasant day to be out without it becoming like dangerously stormy. So in Lewes, cloudy skies, winds are calm for right now. We'll drop to 70 degrees, 9 o'clock. We'll still have some light spitting sprinkle showers sticking around. I mean, it's moving basically from the south to the north, but we're just staying convoluted with just so much cloud cover in place. We do have a couple of advisories I want to pass along to you. First of all, still an active rip current statement in effect until Tuesday from Rehoboth Beach down to Bottom Hills and along the entire Sussex County shore. And a gale wind warning. Now, the gale wind warning means that we're watching out for like 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts, okay? So it's going to be very active along the shore. Now, coming up, we're going to be talking about what's happening with the next couple of days, and we're going to update you on how 2 hurricane or tropical systems might become one, Charlie.
Keeping an eye on that, Paul. Thank you. If you've got a lead foot, listen up. Beginning Wednesday in the state of Maryland, if a speed camera catches you going a little bit too fast, it's going to cost you more. CoastTV News reporter Kevin Zappé is live in Berlin. Kevin, there is now a range for these tickets, and the high end's pretty pricey.
Charlie, we are outside the Stephen Decatur High School, and if you take a look right next to me, you'll see 2 speed cameras ready to catch anyone going over the speed limit. But starting Wednesday, October 1st, speedsters caught on cameras across Maryland will see a new fee structure. The fine now depends on how fast you're going. What used to be a flat $40 fine will soon range from $40 up to $425. We spoke with locals to get their take on the change. And one child care worker we spoke with says the increase could help make school zones safer.
I've traveled there multiple times living here, and that is a very high trafficked area that could definitely, benefit from this.
Now, we spoke with locals in the area who told CoastTV that they've actually received fines from these speed cameras and that they're going to start the drive more cautiously. I'm Kevin Zappé, live in Berlin, CoastTV News.
This just in, big change is coming to Delaware's DMV fees. According to the state, beginning Wednesday, October 1, DMV fees are going up. That includes a 1% increase in the document fee for vehicle transactions. DelDOT says to renew your driver's license, locals will now be charged $50. New specialty plate requests will be hit with a fee of $200. According to the agency, there is set to be a new annual registration fee for more than 48,000 alternative fuel vehicles in the state. Those fees could cost up to $900 depending on the vehicle. The Delaware Department of Transportation says the Woodland Ferry is going to be shut down for 2 days this week. The closure is set for Thursday and Friday to allow for an underwater inspection of the ferry's hull and slips. The town of Fenwick Island is taking a new step to fight flooding with the launch of its first ever street end berm project. That begins at Farmington Street. Led by the town's infrastructure committee, the project involves stacking sandbags at the end of the street, connecting them to neighboring properties to create a berm. The goal is to block tidal waters from pushing into the street during higher tides or storm events. Now, town officials say if the project proves successful, similar berms might be installed in other vulnerable areas. Maryland has taken a big step to support residents with hidden disabilities. Starting Wednesday, October 1st, Maryland locals with hidden disabilities, things like developmental or intellectual disabilities, will have the option to add a butterfly symbol to their driver's license or ID. That's at no cost, and this is according to Maryland MVA. The new designation is part of what is being called Eric's ID law, designed to help first responders recognize hidden disabilities and respond with greater understanding while protecting individual privacy. The Maryland MVA says it will officially reveal the new symbol during a press conference on Wednesday. President Trump trying to stave off 2 crises. First, on the international front, announcing he's very close to a deal between Israel and Hamas. But on the domestic stage, a potential government shutdown in just over 24 hours and a last-ditch meeting with Democratic leaders to avoid one.
Working to end a war overseas and keep the government open back home, President Trump holding two critical meetings today, and their outcomes could impact millions. Trump first welcoming Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to the White House, signaling there could soon be a deal between Israel and Hamas.
At least we're at a minimum very, very close, and I think we're beyond very close.
Trump last week presenting to Arab leaders a 20-point plan to end the war.
We're not quite finished. We have to get Hamas, but I think they're going to be able to do this.
The nearly two-year fight has displaced more than 1 million Palestinians, with dozens of Israelis still captive in Gaza.
This proposal calls for the release of all remaining hostages immediately, but in no case more than 72 hours.
And with a potential government shutdown less than 48 hours away, the president shifting gears, holding a high-stakes sit-down with the top 4 congressional leaders. A lot riding on the meeting, a sign that both sides want to avoid a shutdown, but remain far apart on the details. Democrats want to roll back cuts and changes to Medicaid in the president's spending bill signed into law this summer, and make permanent Obamacare subsidies, which expire this year. Republicans want Democrats to pass the House-approved bill that extends current funding levels for 7 weeks and negotiate changes during that time. Democrats say the time to negotiate is now.
Our position will continue to be clear in this meeting and as we communicate to the American people. Cancel the cuts, lower the costs, save health care.
The president wants to keep the government open. He wants to keep the government funded.
The president warning there could be massive layoffs if the government closes. But time is running out to come to a deal.
Now, the last time we saw a full government shutdown was back in 2019 during President Trump's first term. It started around Christmas and lasted 35 days, becoming the longest shutdown in U.S. history. In Washington, Julie Sturkin, NBC News.
The music has stopped, the crowds are gone, but Ocean City's still buzzing.
And Sunshine will be MIA, missing in action for yet another day. More on that coming up.
But first, what locals are saying about the new possible plan to transform their waterfront in Crisfield. That's up next.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
It recently came to light that a $100 million project is being planned in Crisfield, a large-scale project that could include hotels, restaurants, a recreation space, homes, and businesses, all right on top of Crisfield's waterfront. It's something business owners say is sorely needed.
I've been talking about it for years, that we need some private enterprise to spark the fire that could light Crisfield up.
It's the potential here that is igniting excitement. People within Crisfield now just hoping that it comes to fruition. It's almost that time again for the Bless Our Children campaign. Every year, CoastTV works to make the holidays brighter for kids across Delmarva. Now, the money you give, that goes to local charities. They buy Christmas presents. Right now, we're accepting the applications from the nonprofits. The deadline to submit an application is this coming Wednesday, October 1st. You can find the link at blessourchildren.org.
Here's a quick peek at your Bay forecast. In Cambridge, we're looking for cloudy skies yet again for Tuesday. A little peak of sunshine by Wednesday and even a little bit more by Thursday. So will we keep going towards sunshine or are we going to go back to this cloudy pattern? Your full forecast coming up. Expect another very cloudy, drizzly kind of day before we finally see some real sunshine. And we're going to talk about a 2-for-1 situation as it pertains to tropical storms that we're tracking in the Atlantic. Rehoboth, 72 degrees and dropping to 70 by 9 o'clock. We're at 73 right now in Milton, Millsboro, Georgetown, and Gumboro. And we had a high today of 75 degrees in Georgetown, 76 for the high in Salisbury. So 75 is right on target, just in case you were wondering, with all that cloudiness happening. A couple of sprinkles still floating up towards Milford right now, but it's just sprinkles for right now. Other than that, we're concerned about very windy conditions and some beach erosion for the next couple of days, and partially due to some things that's happening out the Atlantic, but not a direct hit situation. Late tonight, look for more widespread sprinkles and light rain. That's primarily it. And we'll see wave upon wave of that happening. So we stay just overcast for Tuesday as well. Wednesday is when we start seeing peaks of sunshine. The dew point temperature is going to drop, going to make it feel a lot more like fall. For example, regionally speaking, we're in the 60s and 70s. That's tropical stuff right there. A zoomed in view, 68 for the dew point in Rehoboth Beach, 68 for the dew point, and Georgetown, Laurel, and Del Mar. But what's on the horizon? We'll see by Tuesday we're down to 67. Not much of a change. But look at how this green becomes a lot lighter by the time we get to Wednesday, with the dew point temperatures falling into the 50s and then into the 40s. And that, my friend, is more fall-like. So the dew point trend last week was very tropical, but this week it's going to be very fall-like after we get past Tuesday. So for tomorrow, one more tropical feeling kind of day. Winds out of the northeast, cloud cover in abundance in Dewey Beach, Chincoteague, Ocean City, with temperatures at 77. Wednesday, we start seeing some sunshine. Winds out of the northeast. Then we'll stay in the 60s despite the access to sunshine. Then the winds are going to pick up. So it's going to be a bit chilly, to be quite honest, particularly Wednesday morning for the beaches, because temperatures will be in the 60s and we'll have the winds howling at almost 40 miles per hour. So we'll have a bit of a wind chill factor that's kicking in. And remember that 2-for-1 situation? Here we go. Hurricane Umberto with sustained 140 mile per hour winds, and Tropical Storm Imelda with the winds sustained at 65 miles per hour. Now, Imelda is the one that's closest to Florida right now, but it's a tropical storm expected to get stronger. Now, Umberto will begin to pull Imelda out to sea, and they'll begin to kind of rotate around each other. Now, that effect is actually called the Fujiwara effect. I'm going to step out so you can see this. That's actually when two hurricanes are spinning in the same direction and they kind of gravitate to each other. Sometimes they melt together, but that's really, really rare. Finally, here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Cloudy and convoluted for Tuesday, a little bit clearer on Wednesday, warmer by Saturday.
Thank you, Paul. The Ocean's Calling Music Festival wrapped up this past weekend, bringing thousands to Ocean City's inlet parking lot. And while the lot may be empty now, fans spent the last 3 days at the venue for live music, food, and entertainment. The festival was considered a success from fans and organizers alike, even with rain showers. I lived through them. I was out there through most of the day on Saturday. And coming up tonight on DSN, catch the final score at 10:30 on DSN Plus. You can watch the James M. Bennett Pocomoke Field hockey game along with an exclusive at 5:30. Chris Field facing off Colonel Richardson, also in boys soccer. And coming up, what to know before fire hydrant flushing starts in Salisbury and how to keep your water clear. Stay tuned on Coast TV News at 5. Salisbury is preparing for its fall fire hydrant flushing. Now, according to the city's website, crews will do this in 2 phases, October 5th through the 9th. Those are for some areas, and October 13th through the 17th for the rest of the city. Flushing helps maintain water quality, keeps hydrants in good working order, and according to Waterworks, running a faucet for a short period of time, that should clear up any possible discoloration in your water. The U.S. Department of Education is preparing for a possible government shutdown on Sunday. Education Department officials announced its planned contingency if lawmakers fail to pass a spending bill by late Tuesday. It says nearly 1,500 of its 1,700 employees would be discharged. That includes most staff at the Office of Federal Student Aid. Some essential employees would stay on to keep loans and grants moving. The agency, however, would stop issuing new grants and reviewing civil rights complaints. If the shutdown lasts longer than a week, the department says it would have to bring back some workers to work on a partial or rotating basis. And now here's a live look into Dover as we get ready to check in on one more time on what Paul Williams has for the forecast. Coming up new on Coast TV News at 6, how a food bank donation from Purdue is helping out the community.
Well, the community in Dover, we're at 75 degrees, dew point temperature in the 60s, is still feeling a bit on the tropical side because the moisture content in the atmosphere is so high. So we're going to keep the cloud cover and the sprinkly stuff happening for us by 6 o'clock. Listen, we see light scattered showers coming in from the south to the north. So just keep that pattern in mind because it's going to stick around another day. You can keep up with your forecast by simply calling our weather line. The number to call is 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away. Sponsored by the law offices of Brugstead, Mendales, and Federico. And as you take a look at our 3-day beach forecast, we're looking for it to stay cloudy on Tuesday, windy on Wednesday, and then we're going to see it really clear up for us by the time we get to Wednesday going into Thursday. Here's a look at your extended forecast. will warm up nicely by the weekend.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5. For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app. Inside Edition is up next, and we're going to see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.